Welcome to this week's edition of Sales Boomerang University. This week is what's new. We have our Q3 releases. We're trying to do our market releases at the final Tuesday of every month. So thank you so much to everyone who joined Sales Boomerang University 101, 201, and 301. Very excited to have everyone here. Wow, we have 58, 62. Love to see it. So thank you again so much, everyone, for joining. My name is Spencer Schultz. I am a training and adoption strategist with Sales Boomerang. A pleasure to see everyone on this fine Tuesday. Been so happy to see all of you throughout October. We're going to keep these rocking and rolling every single Tuesday at 2 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. So be prepared for those. Every Tuesday, you can submit your team, guys. Really, really excited to have these global platforms ultimately available. So not a super long one today. Hopefully my screen is sharing. Had a little issue there, but hopefully let me know in the chat if you can see it. That would help me out. But very excited to announce some very major changes that we are undertaking. We have Yvonne in Colorado. Please let me know where you are viewing from. I'm in Baltimore, Maryland, where Sales Boomerang is based out of. Very excited to have everyone here. Thank you so much. We got Larry in Wisconsin. Pleasure to see everyone. Corona. Wow, all over. It's a pleasure to see all of you. Idaho, California. Wow, we're really all over, guys. Love to see it. We got some top producers for everywhere. Also, let me know in the chat, what's your role? Are you an LO? Are you a marketing director? Are you a branch manager? Are you an owner? Whatever it is. Tons of LOs. Love to see it. And please, somebody let me know in the chat. We can see my screen, correct? Should be sharing sometimes in these webinars. Yes, perfect. Thank you so much, everyone. So, Sales Boomerang University Q3 updates. So every month at the final the final week of each month, we're going to do a market update. This one, since we have our Q3 release, we can just get into it, friends. We are announcing three very major changes. We have taken our MI removal tool and we have improved it substantially. We have also streamlined our life event alerts. We talked about those in Sales Boomerang University 301, the potential to be a true borrower and best financial friend and lender for life, as well as faster conversion reporting and the ability to integrate directly into Encompass for both Sales Boomerang and Mortgage Coach. We are so excited. We got branch managers, we got LOs. I love to see it. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining me. So, friends, we have our FHA MI removal tool. We have gone over this one in 301 last week. That recording is available on YouTube as well. This recording of this one will be sent out tomorrow. And ultimately, we have a prescriptive scenario alert that is credit qualified and previously had included the ability to determine when a borrower crosses the 80% threshold in LTV, where they would be able to remove their mortgage insurance. Well, after tons of feedback from you beautiful people, what is relevant? What is missing from that? Well, it would be nice, especially in a high rate environment, if we had the ability to put in a watch setting to determine, hey, where are the people that actually would benefit from this today? So ultimately, we have added an MI removal delta parameter. So that's going to mean that the rate will be accounted for within that. So we're not alerting you, or you're not triggering marketing to someone if you're using a drip campaign or a Mortgage Coach TCA or both, where, okay, well, they can take their mortgage insurance off, but they're in a 2.875 and we're offering a 6.5. So you now have the ability to reduce that and see the specific borrowers that would benefit, considering what their interest rate is in their loan type, FHA, conventional, VA, jumbo, whatever it is. So that is something you can reach out and change with your customer success manager. You'll be able to adjust that. We also have added smart logic for our FICO requirements. The alert will automatically adjust the required FICO to align with the delta. So if it is a certain rate that you need, we will automatically trigger a different FICO requirement for you. That is something that's customizable, but that's going to limit those FHA-MI removal opportunities to make sure that there is a monthly payment difference. So we are getting smarter over time, guys, reducing that one. So really, this is a no-brainer now. You're going to know that there is an impact for the borrower in their monthly payment, considering their rate, to make sure it is ultimately relevant and we're closely matching your underwriting requirements so that you don't go through the process, get to underwriting, and their FICO score is not high enough for the certain program. So ultimately, just trying to be as smart as we can there. Very excited about that one. Again, if you want to learn more about prescriptive scenarios, go back and watch Sales Boomerang 301 or join us on the third Tuesday of November. Again, the third Tuesday, we'll be going over those every time. But so now we're going to be able to apply that and revisit the alert to proactively discuss the capability of removing it. And you can see a little chart here to show that value. But the parameter is optional. You don't have to put on the rate parameter, but you can. So that's going to be dealer's choice on your end to make sure. Again, we want to make all of these alerts as if you're able to Google search into your database. Show me this. Show me those who can, considering their rate, lower their monthly payment with their mortgage insurance. However, you do want to look at the duality here. You also want to be able to prepare borrowers for, let's say, I read a Fannie Mae study. They're projecting, 4.5 to be the rate in about, I think Q2, Q3, end of Q2, Q3, Q4, somewhere in the mid fours. And obviously rates are going to come down. So you do want to be able to be prescriptive and still look at those and say, hey, Mr. and Mrs. Borrower, you will be able to take off your mortgage insurance in Q2 or Q3. Get ahead of that. That way we're ahead of other lenders, we're ahead of the market, and we can strike with confidence using a Mortgage Coach TCA to really help them solidify those confident decisions. The next one is that life events, guys. We have, and some of you might use these, some of you might not have yet. We're going to be making sure that as we've rolled these out in 2022, we want to keep adding, keep changing, keep improving, always using the scientific method, testing, and then looking at our results, making sure that they're as good as possible. So we have simplified the list. The list is now going to consist of just 7. It's going to be birth of any child, not first birth or new child or something between that. There's going to be married, single, empty nest. Then for the household, so you can define it as the borrower themselves versus the household. They have obtained a graduate degree, graduated high school in the household, someone, which would indicate hopefully an empty nester or the potential to have that down the road, or there has been death in the household. So we are now clarifying that it is not just the borrower who has deceased, but anyone in the household, obviously. So that's going to be in the alert detail. You can see the description is going to say newly married on the right-hand side where my cursor is. That way we know, okay, here is where the situation has occurred. So ultimately, guys, did want to talk briefly about life events again. We did release these in Q2, I believe, of 2022. So we've gone through a quarter and we are making improvements. And with these, this provides the opportunity to be a borrower and lender for life. If someone's trusting you with a 30-year debt obligation, pulling their, giving you their social security, giving you their date of birth, giving you all that sensitive, confidential information, we need to be there for them when life happens. This is something we want to be proactive about. We don't have to hide and be secretive that we're, I know that this happened. How can I quietly market it? Well, when you're working with a borrower, say we have technology that lets us know anything that would likely trigger a tough or positive circumstance, a mortgage transaction. We want to be there for you when life happens. So within 12 months of any of these events, you can list them all out when you're doing marketing or having these conversations: birth, marriage, divorce, empty nest, death, graduating in the household, or an emerging professional. We're going to be able to be there and help make sure that you can maximize gain and help you overcome any obstacles or challenges that present themselves. At XYZ lender, ABC lender, we care about being there for life. That's what separates us, Mr. and Mrs. Borrower, from Rocket Mortgage, from Quicken Loans, from all of Zillow, all of these different avenues where they're just churning for volume. Here's your rate, take it or leave it. We don't care. So we care. We're going to be there for you and make sure that we can ultimately enhance the experience throughout the mortgage and help minimize the downsides. The next one that we're really excited about, guys, we are going to be having an Encompass integration between both Sales Boomerang and Mortgage Coach so that you're able to have your LOS work to provide permission to leverage that integration, and you can freely pass data. The smooth operator of the API. We have a new API in place using an LOS API that is developed exactly for this purpose. We are going to be using the closing date of the loan to determine conversions. That way we can do automatic conversion reporting so we can help you with metrics. If you're entering this situation with Sales Boomerang and Mortgage Coach, what's your goal? Increase your bottom line, increase your loan volume, and substantially increase your retention rate. Now that we can automate this process, we can have more consistent reporting. We don't need spreadsheets. We don't need Excel and all of these that we have to pull and run reports and ask someone to run a report, and then they email it, and then we email it, and then we email back, and then we have a call. We want to simplify that process. So you have to sign a disclosure. And if you want to sign up for this, there is a sign up. I will pass along a potential for that. So you need to ultimately reach out to your customer success manager, who you can find in your account, and you can generate an email if you need to and say, hey, I would like to sign up for the Encompass integration so that we can free flow the data. Brian McCrae, does that mean that we can add a new contact to SB from Encompass automatically at closing? That's a good question, Brian. I'm going to get back to you on that one. I'm going to get back to that specifically, but that is the ultimate goal. I don't want to overpromise and underdeliver, but I believe that is our ultimate goal with this. So let me define that one a little bit more clearly with our product team. We have another question that I will get to in a little later. So please use the Q&A feature if you need to, but ultimately, guys, let's integrate so that we can reduce the amount of work that we need to do, reporting that we need to do in order to see our metrics and track our metrics. So again, Sales Boomerang does free conversion reports for every single lender partner we work with, which will show things like total loan volume as a result of alerts. Hey, how long did that FHA MI removal alert take to get from an alert to an application, from an alert to a funded deal, from an application to a funded deal? Who was the LO who did it? What was the time frame on that? What was the funded date? All of those. Which LOs have done best with which types of alerts? Which LOs have done best overall? And then we can consider how many records they have, things like that, so that we can always, again, be testing using the scientific method to find where our sweet spots are. Going forward, current Sales Boomerang clients who sign up with Mortgage Coach can sign a disclosure on board and generate the API code. And those are existing sign up. And then the few days are just for an API setup. So ultimately, guys, that is our three big takeaways here. This is a brief one. I just wanted to give you the Q3 updates to Sales Boomerang. So again, FHA MI removal, able to customize that to get as granular as you're like, and make sure that you're seeing the instance you want to see of when borrowers can take MI off. Number two, guys, we are going to make those recommended changes that we've gotten from your feedback to the life events so that we can make sure to simplify and streamline that process. Number three, we're going to be able to integrate into Encompass. And hopefully, again, Brian, I'm going to try and get some, I would reach out to your CSM as well. I'll try and follow up as well. But I believe that is the case. Again, that need to double check. So with that, guys, are there any other questions? Want to open up the floor for anything? I'll hang out for a minute after this, see if anything pops up. We did have a Q&A here. Corey Bowman, I'm very interested in Sales Boomerang, but because I'm a single user, I understand I can't get an account. Is that still the case? As a single LO, so we do have minimum record requirements. So I do believe you need to have at least 5,000 records in order to be able to use our account ultimately. We would love to help you out there. I would recommend going to salesboomerang.com, signing up for a demo, and you can go in with our sales team and see if they can get you on a specific instance. So thank you so much, Corey. All right. Well, I appreciate everyone so much for tuning in. I appreciate your time. I'm going to do a quick poll here to close out. And let's actually, it's going to take a process. So that's all right. We'll do a poll next time. But thank you so much, my friends. I appreciate your time. Go help some people. Go close some loans. Go make some money. And I'll talk to you next Tuesday.